What is up, gamers? Staxwell's back at it again today with another market watch. Whole lot of crazy stuff going on. We had a banned and suspended announcement. We had another week of ProQuest. A lot of movement on the market. Buyouts left and right. So let's just jump straight into it. No Raid Shadow Legends ads or anything like that. We're just going to jump straight into it and look at Titan's Fist here. This card got bought out, maybe within an hour of the banned and suspended announcement dropping, as I'm sure most of you guys know. Winter's Whale was banned or suspended or whatever, so people immediately bought out the cold foil Titan's Fist. It is at $35 right now, and as you could see yesterday, just a massive volume of them were bought, and before yesterday it was at like $15, so more than doubled in price overnight. Kind of crazy, kind of insane. People did mention that it was getting bought right around this mark before, I guess you could say before this banned and suspended announcement came out. People were looking at that sideways with a little bit of suspicion. But I do want to say I have seen Bravos playing this card. I have a couple Bravos at my locals that were playing this card, just so they could play a shield to combat Fi. So I think that's what the small movement back here was. I don't think it was anything malicious or shady or anything, but this big buyout was obviously because of that ban and suspended announcement. Okay, so with a bunch of decks getting soft rotated, kind of banned, power level drop down on a lot of decks, people are looking to the future. What new decks can we play? What new decks are coming out that we could play? Of course, Azalea comes to a lot of people's minds since she's getting a lot of support. So the Skullbone cross wrap keeps going up. Last week we talked about it. It was 60. Now it's about 70, and I think it's going to keep rising until we see the true level of Azalea in the next set, right? So I still think this is actually a little bit cheap. Think of Arcanite or Arcanite Grasp as like another class-specific, necessary, legendary from Arcane Rising. Grasp was like $100 in its peak. I think Skullbone Crosswrap could be the same or higher. Since it's even older than... Since Arcane now is even older than it was when Grasp was good, if that makes any sense. Yeah, Surgical Extraction's another one. The card keeps going up. They have finally confirmed that this card was short printed, so now the prices all make sense and everything once they confirm that. I didn't want to speculate on whether or not it was because, I mean, I just had no idea. But now LSS has come out and confirmed, yes, it was short printed. So once people found out it was short printed, I think they just kept, like, bought it out even further. And the rainbows are even more insane. They didn't say the rainbows were short printed, but I think they were if we look at the price. $100 for the cheapest rainbow, $60 for the cheapest non-foil. And if you look here, a rainbow sold for $155. Absolutely insane, this card's price. Personally, I'm not going to pick one up. LSS has never short printed a card before. And now that they have, I think they're going to give us an apology reprint in the next set. But I'm not sure. That's totally speculative. I am not sure. I personally am holding out on Surgical. I just can't pay that price. It's just too much for a Majestic for me. New Horizon got bought out since we spoke last week. The card is now 210 for the rainbow, and if we look at the cold foil, it is up to only 230. If you plan on buying it, just buy the cold foil. Again, this is for the new Rangers coming out, the power level of all the decks dropping. People are looking to the future. Lexi's also performing well in ProQuest, so this card's price point makes perfect sense to me. Sandscour Great Bow is another one. People are looking to the future. They want to play Azalea moving forward. It is at 160. And if we look at like last week-ish when we talked about it, it was 140. So this card is steadily rising. All the cards are going to continue to steadily rise as we move closer to Outsiders. Just prepare yourselves for these price movements. We know it's coming, so just plan accordingly. Rain Razor, same thing. It's at $16 now. Everfest Majestics, we've talked about this time and time again. I feel like we mention it every week on the channel. When an Everfest Majestic becomes playable, the price skyrockets. Cheapest on the market, $16. Crown of Dominion has actually held. I actually didn't think it would from last week when it got bought out to the 220 mark, but now it is at 290. Royal Briar, Royal Dromai, they're real decks. They're serious competitors. And by the looks of it, judging off last week's stats, if we repeated those same winning stats for the next 2 weeks, then Briar will not rotate. She'll be legal at Indy, and unless she won Indy, she would be legal for the Pro Tour. None of the ban and suspended announcements really hurt her. I know there was some belittle builds, but that wasn't the popular build. That wasn't the mainstream build. That wasn't the build that was winning. So people realize Briar's not getting banned. This might be a worthwhile investment, and again, it's good in Dromai as well. And other decks like Kano sometimes plays it, Bravo sometimes plays it, but Dromai, Briar are the big culprits. Crown of Seeds, with that Winter's Whale ban, I just pull up Crown of Seeds as an example. You could look at almost any card in Oldhim and see this same history here. If you look just a week or two ago, the rainbows were like $60. They're slowly down ticking. This is now 54. People see the ban list and they get a little bit scared, so they start posting their cards for cheaper and cheaper, hoping to just get rid of them for close to full value. If you think Oldhim is going to stick around, then now might be the time to buy it all, now that people are a little bit afraid that their deck's not going to be meta relevant and they're getting rid of all the cards. Time will tell. I think Oldhim will survive, but he always does, right? They always hit him and he always survives, and he's always the best deck again after X amount of time. I'm sure he'll be back on top one of these days. Mirror Guy, for some reason, has been like semi bought out, I guess you could say. Like, it used to be $28 not even a couple weeks ago. Now it's 45. I've looked at all the other dragons. There's no weird movement on any of them except a Mirror Guy. I don't know if people just like the art on this guy or what. I really don't have an answer as to why only he has gone up and none of the other dragons are. Like, was the Marvel for this short printed or something? Who knows? If you guys know, please let everyone know down in the comments and I'll pin it or something like that. It's just a little bit odd that this one is more expensive than all of the other common Marvel dragons, or rare Marvel dragons, I guess. The Judge promo for the ProQuest is sitting at 110. I think most people don't look at this card or don't think to look up this card, or, you know, most of the judges that buy it or that earned it are hanging on to it just as a little bit of a trophy for their hard work, which I understand. Just kind of letting everyone know where this card is, because I don't think most people think to look it up. Again, Briar's not getting rotated. It's looking like that unless she really picks it up in the second and third week of ProQuest. It looks like she's going to be here for the Pro Tour. So Rosetta Cold Foil has gone up, nearly doubled in price. If we look at the price just a couple weeks ago here, almost a month ago, it was $15. Now it is up to $30. The Outsiders Blitz decks are for sale on TCG Player right now as a pre-sale. $90 for the set of 6. We always say on this channel, do not buy pre-sale from TCG Player. I'll say it again, do not buy pre-sale from TCG Player. It is never ever worth it. $60 for 6 decks, that MSRP at 10 apiece. This is probably going to be on TCG Player after the set drops for $50 for these 6 decks. I doubt there's going to be a shortage of these Blitz decks. Do not buy pre-sale items from TCG Player. These decks look awesome though. I can't wait to get my hands on them, but not for this price tag. I don't think anyone should for that price tag. Predatory Streak extended art. This was the promo for top aiding at Armory events. I want to talk about this a little bit. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but at our armories, like for example, Cut to the Chase is the current promo, the extended art. We kind of throw them around. We don't really care too much about them. Don't even, like, even after I win a tournament, I don't like hang around and like, hey, where's my Cut to the Chase or anything. You know, I kind of just get my cold foil and leave, and I don't think too much about this. But maybe we should start, because this card isn't even played and it's $5 for the cheapest. Same with Blessing of Aether is about $5 for the cheapest. And they've only been gone for a couple months, so just imagine where Predatory Streak will be in a year or two, you know what I mean? So just kind of be cognizant of these extended arts. They might not be worth much at the time, right when you're picking them up. Throw them in a deck box, throw them in the closet, give it a year, give it 2 years, give it 6 months even, or 2 months in Predatory Streak case, and you know, you might have some value on your hands. The entries might start paying for themselves at some point. I just wanted to bring you guys' attention to these cards. I don't think many people are looking at these cheaper cards. So yeah, hang on to your extended art promos for sure. Young Katsu's only $10 at the moment. We know Katsu's about to get a lot of support in the upcoming set. I think this is an absolute steal. If you guys haven't seen the Cold Foil Young Katsu, it is absolutely beautiful. I don't even know really where it came from, nor do I care. The card is absolutely beautiful, and this is way too cheap of a price. There's only 4 of them up here for 10. Then it jumps to 13. I hope my viewers can get those 4. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, rate, subscribe, and help the algorithm help me out a little bit. Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you, gamers.